Yep, I'm just going to have a little reminder on the top of videos now to let you know that I am in fact still doing transcripts for these. I mean, it is technically supposed to be, you know, the other half of the whole doing a series about Persona 5 or whatever. And I never mentioned in videos, so I feel like I should have something there. Whatever, just think of it as the closest thing you're going to get to an intro on any series on this channel. Anywho, of course, right before I go to bed, I always got to check all your text messages. Or, I said last time it was standard messaging service, it's actually short messaging service. I want to correct myself on that because I am very neurotic about that sort of thing, apparently. I am on the English version. Because I guess this short messaging service is trademarked? I don't know. Anyway, it's much like a horror movie. The application is now getting out and spreading to the whole public, which you'd think would be, you know, cause for alarm, but considering that it does kind of warp reality and send you to alternate dimensions, but I mean, you do know what it is, Ryuji. It's just, I don't know, I kind of agree with your hesitation on this, even though you are still very, very stupid. That's, just do a factory reset on your phone or something. Get rid of that thing. I'll bear the burden of being the only one with it. If it comes back, then I don't know, your phone is haunted. I think that's usually how that works. Don't go ditching school. You of all people should know that I am trustworthy, and it's only due to, I mean, not even external factors, but extra-dimensional factors that I missed that one day of school. It just is... Alright, if you've ever read Catch-22, or there was a part in that book where one of the characters was supposed to be on a plane that crashed. So for the rest of the book, everybody ignored him because he was supposed to be dead because he didn't come back from that plane crash. This whole game kind of feels like that, where what people are saying matters more than the actual actions you take. It feels like that would almost be a little bit clever if not... Oh, yes, also hi, Igor. It would feel like that would almost be a little bit clever if I wouldn't just chalk that up to maybe a little bit of bad writing. The biting satire is really more of a surface thing in this game rather than something intentional, you know, rather than going that deep. I don't know. Hey, that's great, because Nerves of Steel is a fantastic item. That's another reference to Dead Cells. Anyway. Oh, yes. I got my first social link in the last episode, so of course I'm going to get the whole rigmarole from you on that, which the main character will entirely ignore. Of course, how exactly would you explain, no, we've got to be really good friends so I can get extra levels when I fuse a persona? It's... yeah. I don't know, it's... yeah, you better not have any fake friendships. We'll know. The game will know. Of course, that also brings up the question of, if you feel like you're getting really close to somebody and then you don't get a social link, does that mean maybe they're not reciprocal or something like that? I mean, also, there's only so many major arcana of tarot, so you can only get so many friendships, technically, unless you're going to start having, you know, oh, your social link has born into existence the Two of Cups. So can I have a Two of Cups friendship? No, major arcana only. Yeah, the arcana that I got with this person is the Devil. I feel a little bit hesitant about being friends with him now. No, it's fine? Okay. Alright, thanks, Igor. Guess I'm gonna have to trust you on this one. Because otherwise you will just keep installing that stupid application on my phone. I know I can't really get away from this in any way, can I? I am both literally and metaphorically trapped in here, aren't I? Well, great. I mean, I'll do my best to fulfill them, because otherwise I'm going to be stuck in this cell. Despite all my rage, etc., cage, whatever. Skip through that reference as fast as I'm skipping through this. Okay. I don't really know why Igor has... Usually the Fool tends to be the... I mean, it was like the investigation team for the past 2 games, so to see it for a specific person is kind of weird. And especially for Igor, who... I said before, he's kind of a non-character. Like, he exists, but not really. But the story doesn't really... He's mostly here to talk to you, the player, not you, the actual characters. Ah, whatever. More Fool Persona power. I'll take it. Also, extra abilities in this game, which is kind of cool. I mean, you had something to a certain extent in the past few games, but here you actually have selectable skills on menus rather than it just being, you know, your partner will prevent you from dying if you would take a mortal blow. Yeah, I know, right? This is very quick to have all these very plot critical things happening. Characters that I am coincidentally eavesdropping on. You should totally get spiked on. Well, yeah, I mean, he'll probably do that, and he will also beat you in volleyball. You're gonna get your face smashed in. Yeah, I mean, he'll probably do that, but then he'll also beat you in volleyball. Hey, this is really just setting him up so I can knock him down, isn't it? The idea that the whole investigation here, the little Scooby Gang thing that we're going to be doing, is going to matter in any way seems to be... The chances are low. Yep. As we all know, second day of school. It's always the volleyball rally. Really don't get a whole lot of actual learning done in Persona Land, do you? Well, when I actually get to the real gameplay portion, you know, where you're... Oh, wait, cutscene.
Yeah, さすが鴨志田先生。よし、もう一本行くぞ。
浮いてんな、相変わらず。あいつまんねえなあ。
大丈夫か？保健室連れてけ。今に見とけよ。よし、試合再開だ。
Oh man. Oh man, there was a lot of stuff happening in that cutscene. One, the glamour shots of Kamoshida spiking that ball, absolutely fantastic. Two, the way that Ryuji... Okay, it seemed like Ryuji at one point threw that volleyball out of frame, and then it immediately cut to Kamoshida, making it look like he was about to throw a volleyball at Kamoshida's face. Like, what? That was shot in a really weird way. And also, of course, the background characters, especially Anne in that one scene, was just magically low quality. So anyway, yeah, you're all saying the same thing. Oh, he really is like a king in real life. Yeah, it's almost as if the inner mind is showing on the surface, even through the metaphorical blah blah whatever. Who cares? Let's go. Also, I do like that one-man show is the same in English and in Japanese. You didn't, like, write this down or anything? I mean, could have really helped me rather than, you know, you being my CO right now. I mean, fine, I guess if I command you in battle, you can command me outside. Whatever. It's only fair. Yes, I know, right? Also, why have they started to avoid you lately? That's a... I mean, they've been avoiding me because, you know, got all these crazy rumors going around. You've just been kind of hanging out. Why would they suddenly change their mind about you? Because you start to hang out with me? Maybe I could just use my incredible... Also fast travel, thank God. But yeah, maybe I could just use my, you know, reputation to just bully people into spilling information to me rather than asking them politely in any way. And yes, fast travel. Now, usually, when I watch people on internet, you know, playing games, they're usually like, oh, no, I never want to fast travel. I want to get the full experience walking from place to place. That is not at all true for me. I will exploit fast travel to the fullest extent of the law every single time it is afforded to me. I am not here to spend time walking through the forest looking at a deer and woods and nothing else for hours on end. I love me some fast travel. So I'm glad that... I mean, they start to use it in the last game a little bit, but it seems like in Persona 5, it'll be pretty judicious in its use. Any point, well, pretty liberal in its use. Wow, dude. How are you even allowed to be playing right now? Oh, right, your coach is a total scumbag. I forgot. Now, I don't know how you could possibly forget that, but sure. Hey, were you at the castle yesterday? You have to tell me. Otherwise, it's entrapment. That is not how that works. Entrapment is when Catherine Zeta-Jones wears very tight pants. Hey, come on. Come on. Come on. I know you want to tell us. Oh, fine. Just didn't see that coming. Which is, of course, why I'm going to call him coward. Or not. You guys are cowards. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. I mean, technically we could go take people to the metaverse. There doesn't seem to be any particular rules about that. I mean, really, it's, you know, if we just somehow, I don't know, made enough of a racket or just existed in the world and got the police's attention, could just kind of bring them over to the alleyway and be like, oh, wow, how crazy. We're in this alternate universe. I guess we might as well do a little bit of exploration around. Because it's... I don't know. It's also that I'm sure that... a bit of a distrust there, considering how... poor the last encounter with the truancy police went. At the same time, what choice do you have here when these guys won't even say anything because they're so afraid? Oh, yeah. 3C. And it's not like it's that difficult to find the classrooms, but the thing is, you can't go inside any classroom except for your own. So they're actually hanging out outside of the classroom, right outside of there, which I did not understand for, let's say a little while. Of course, considering how much editing that I'm already doing with this series, it should come as no surprise that you're not going to have to see that. However, before I get there, I think that was actually him right there. Before I get over there, got some notable characters who probably have something to say. More and more complex. Yeah, and if I did bother to transcript some of the idle chatter kind of happening around me, you'd see stuff like, oh man, I heard that he carries a knife around and stuff like that. Which again would be quite the card to put on the table. Like, tell me about this or I'll pull out my knife. And then if they decide to, squeal on you about having a knife, it's like, oh no, I don't have a knife. See? Okay, there we go. There was the not so artful cut. I wasn't even entirely sure that I was talking to the right people, which is why I kind of skipped through that first dialogue a little bit quickly. Yep, that's me. So I guess that is why people haven't been trusting Sakamoto lately. Or Ryuji. Whatever. You know it. This actually does bring up something of a point where even if you do manage to get rid of Kamoshida, do you think that there's going to be a lot of people saying, oh, I can't believe they got rid of him? Yeah, he might have been rough on the students, but that's what you need to do. I mean, it's like he got results or something like that. Of course, let's be honest here. Injuring your own players is maybe not the most conducive way to have them be very good at their respective sports. So I got the sinking suspicion that Kamoshida, in reality, just happened to have a very good team who, regardless of who was coaching them, probably would have been really good. And that, if anything, he's just doing a huge disservice to how he's treating them right now. Of course, he is also, from what I understand, a very famous sort of dude, so it could easily be that that's kind of, you know, fooling people. Point is, I really don't think that Kamoshida is a very good coach, period. I mean, you get enough injuries as it is when it comes to sports. You don't need to be causing them manually. Web of lies and deceit, which I like to call the internet. Now, why are the first-year classrooms on the third floor, and the third-year classrooms on the first floor? And you drive in a parkway and park on a driveway. Hey, well, I'm sorry. Oh yes, also bathrooms. This was something very, very important for me to check. Oh. I guess that's how you know this isn't a David Cage game. Alright. Fess up, idiot. I'm getting sick of having people not tell me what's going on here. So we just going for the straight punch this time. Thought I would be sneaky with that one, but bam! Knowledge right to your face. I mean, of course it's going to go to the character who has a unique portrait. And who was also featured in the cutscene. There was not even any point in that prompt, but it made you choose it anyway. Japanese version is something like, attention all students, or whatever, in the school. Clearly decided not to go for the long version of that. Besides, I think it's a little bit more realistic to a English audience anyway. Short and to the point. I don't know. Absolutely terrible. What do you think? Actually, considering what I just said right there, I probably should have chose the second prompt, but I don't know how I'm going to be commentating these when I'm playing the game. Oh, great. As if it isn't the person who's clearly going to be a party member soon enough, but for right now may as well be my enemy. I mean, it is a little irritating knowing who all the party members are going to be the second they appear, because they are so prominently shown in the starting screen, on the game box, in the intro video, which I didn't actually show for this series. Little mystery to be had. I mean, not that I would care all that much. I don't care about spoilers. However, I do know that a lot of people watching this, and by a lot of them I mean, you know, the 3 or 4 that maybe made it to this part of the video, Might have liked to have that that mystery stay intact.
そういうことな。鴨志田と仲いいもんな。
Indeed, that's what I was just saying, Ryuji.
坂本には関係なくない？
That's not
野
what...
郎が裏で何してるか知ったら、お前絶対別れたくなるから。
She doesn't know, despite the fact that everybody seems to know.
言ったってわかんねえよ。
Then again, I suppose I did hear her talking with Shiho,
て
and
か、あんたら
it didn't
もう
really
噂に
seem all that much like she put too much stock in rumors.
みんな協力してくれないし。
On the other hand, it is very, very obvious.
それだけ。
相変わらず気の強え女。
Oh? Some kind of history between you two? I mean, even though that has clearly been implied several times coming up to this point.
中学が同じってだけだ。
Yeah, I bet.
てか、その話じゃねえよ。俺の方、全然ダメだったわ。お前の方は？
Look for Mishima.
なんか
Let's go.
誰かの名前とか出てねえか？
Now that is some severe punnery. Really should have just chosen one of the wrong answers to see how the game would railroad me back to the correct path, because there's no way Ryuji would know who I'm talking about. Or maybe they would just assume that he would anyway, and I got the name wrong. Oh well, doesn't really matter. Let's go talk to him, not find out any more information, and finally get on to the proper dungeon. Maybe. We'll see.
話あんだけど。
坂本。お前まで。
And you, the character whom I can't name because we didn't record dialogue for every possible name on Earth. I always hate that. That's one of the things I hate about having to choose your own character. You can't record unique dialogue.
違いますよ。
Which means it has to be a little bit awkward sometimes like that. Huge problem for Fallout 4 when that came out because everything was voice acted. So how are you going to do mods if you're not going to have the main character, you know, be able to say them? Unless, I guess, if you were very, very rich and wanted to get them back to do some line recordings. I'm going to say not likely, though.
口止めされてんのか?
Mm-hmm.
何をしているんだ?
Were you just waiting around?
三島、部活の時間だろ?
Alright, another thing to remember is that Kamoshida, even in his castle version, does apparently just wander around looking to cause trouble. I guess that's true to real life as well, which is a very weird thing, but sure, why not? I guess that makes it believable somehow.
練習来るのか来ないのか?
行きます。
Yeah.
何か問題を起こせば、お前今度こそ学校にいられなくなるぞ.
Yes, how many times you heard that line?
お前もだ。おとなしくしてろと。
As well as you, who are also here, doing things, along with Ryuji. Okay, come on. I did the jokey response last time. Let's just go for the I was just leaving.
練習の邪魔はしないでもらいたいんだ.
Yeah.
良くない噂が広まってて、生徒も不安がってるしな.
そりゃてめえのせいだろ?
Ryuji, come on. We're not tackling this by insulting the guy. That just makes us look petty.
修人学園は志のある生徒が学ぶ場所.
This is Kamoshida's speech where he cements himself as a total scumbag villain.
ぼさっとしてんな.
はい。今 てろよ。
無駄だか
あ？
ら体罰の証明なんて意味ないんだよ。みんな知ってんのさ。
Now, who could have possibly seen this coming?
知ってて黙認してるんだ。
I mean, maybe the most obvious revelation in the entire game so far. Then again, we got a lot of game to go.
迷惑だ。こっちの気も知らないで。
So, of course, this is not going to be solved through basic investigator reporting. I mean, you know, how many villains has Superman beat through his ability to report news rather than punching dudes in the face?
いや、諦めねえよ。
Come on, let's go beat up some
他の
shadows.
奴らをもう一度説得してみる。それしか手がねえし。
Are you sure you don't want to beat up some shadows? Because, I mean, we haven't really done a whole lot of that in this game so far. And I know that's a huge mechanic here. Oh, well. Next time, I guess, I'm gonna go try to convince people to testify against Kamoshida again.